Good afternoon student. Today topic is classical problem of a synchronization. Means what and all the problem we are facing during a synchronization. There are three main classical problems. First one is the bounded buffer problem. Second one is a reader-writer problem. Third, dining philosopher problem. So these are the three problems which is going to be occur during the process in a synchronization. So to solve this problem we are using a semaphores. Students, this topic will understand only when if you understand the previous topic of semaphore. If you not understand the semaphore, whatever the code I am writing for semaphore for this topic will you not understand. So please go through the last session topic semaphore. Okay, so these are the problems and these problems can be solved using the semaphore variables. Just I want to repeat that semaphore is a what? It is an integer variable. It is an integer variable. The first one I'll take the bounded buffer problem. What is this bounded buffer problem? Actually, this is commonly used to illustrate the power of synchronization primitives. Okay, this bounded buffer contains a pool which contains n number of buffers, which contains a pool. It is having a n number of buffers. Buffer means what? We are going to be used to store the item. Okay, so bounded buffer contains a pool contains a n number of buffers and each buffer hold a single item. Each buffer is used to hold a single item. So we are taking the semaphore here. So the semaphore value is initialized to 1. Okay, so we are going to be solve the bounded buffer problem by using the semaphore. Semaphore initially initialized to 1. And another two semaphore we are taking. One semaphore is empty semaphore, another one is the full semaphore. Semaphore full is initialized to 0, semaphore empty is initialized to n here. So one is semaphore mutex initialized to 1, semaphore full initialized to 0, semaphore empty is initialized to 1. So to solve this bounded buffer problem, I am taking producer consumer problem. Already I explained what is the meaning of producer consumer. Producer will produce an item in the buffer and consumer will consume the item from the buffer. But problem with producer and consumer is consumer will not consume the item which is not produced only. That is the what producer consumer problem. You can see this structure of the producer consumer. Again I'll repeat, this code you will understand only when if you check the previous session semaphores. So what is the meaning? So semaphore problem can be solved. This is previous section I am telling. Whatever the last video I said semaphore, the semaphore contains two operations, wait and the signal. Wait always decrement the value by 1. Signal always increment the value by 1. So we can see this code by using the producer and consumer. So wait empty and wait mutex. Initially empty is a what? It is a n means 1 we are taking. Empty value is a 1. So when it is a 1, it is initialized to what? Okay, empty value is a 1 initially. It is so what I said, wait always decrement the value by 1. So please check the code of a previous semaphore. Like this it is, s is less than or equal to 0, s equal to s minus 1. Empty is initially 1, it becomes 0. Mutex, what is a mutex? It is given here, see. Mutex is a what? Value 1. So 1 means what? Decrement, it becomes a 0. When it becomes a 0, 0, when it becomes a 0, 0 means it is going to be enter the critical section and there is a place to produce the item here. So add next p to the buffer. It produced now. Now I want to produce next item. So signal mutex. Previous mutex value is what? 0. Signal increment the value by 1. It takes a 0. It becomes 1. Then full. What is a full here? It is a 0. Here you can see it becomes a 1. When 1 means it produces the another item in the buffer. It produces the another item in the buffer. Okay. This is the what? Structure of the producer process. Structure of the producer process. Next we can check the structure of the consumer process. Check the structure of the consumer process. Again, consumer means what? It consumes the item which is present in the buffer. So wait full. Full is in previously what? The full value is a 1. Here the full value is a 1 in the previous. Full value is a 1. It becomes 0 because wait it increment that. Mutex is a what? Mutex is a what? It is a 1. Mutex is a what? It is a 1 initially. It becomes a 0. When both will become a 0, remove an item from the buffer. Remove an item from the buffer. Then again, what is the mutex value here? 0. it becomes 1. What is the empty? Previously it is a 0, it becomes a 1. So you can go through the previous values. When it becomes a 0, it enter the critical section, it can remove an item from the buffer. When it becomes a 1, it consumes the item from the it consumes an extra item. This is how code will work for a producer and the consumer.